The 5 focus factors of F&I. Focus. It's a state or condition that permits clear perception and understanding. It's like if you take a telescope and you want to see something really close, what do? You focus it in. You focus it in so you can see it clearly. And when you focus in on your job and when you focus in on the right factors, you can see them clearly as well. What you want to do is channel your energy in the right direction. If you expect it, you're more likely to get it. So what's the first focus factor? The first focus factor, of course, is the customer. That should be the primary focus of everyone in the dealership, is the customer. That's going to bring additional profit. It's going to bring additional customer satisfaction, and it's going to bring fewer complaints. And all of us in the selling industry like fewer complaints, don't we? Part of that customer is building rapport. You got to build rapport with the customer. You can't sell the customer if you don't have rapport, can you? And who do you sell for? You sell the customer for your reasons? No, you don't, do you? You sell it to them for, or products to them for their reasons. 5 personality types. I said earlier that people buy for their reasons. They don't buy for ours. So in order to sell to them, we need to know what their reasons are. It's important in selling to know what different types of buying personalities there are. The nice thing is there's only 5. The first one is what is referred to as the apathetic. The apathetic is the person that never buys anything. Now, apathetics are only about 1 in 20, but we as salespeople like to create an apathetic when they don't even exist. Someone tells us, no, that hurts our ego. We don't feel good. The next person tells us, no. Now, what are we expecting the next person to tell us? Absolutely, no. And maybe they weren't an apathetic at all. That's the problem with the apathetic buyer. We start to qualify people before they even sit down. I like to say that I've been in this business for so long that I could actually tell if a person will buy insurance just by the way they dress. Now, of course, that is ridiculous. The second personality type is a self-actualizing buyer. The self-actualizing buyer will buy everything. These are our friends. When we offer them something, they'll say yes. When we offer them something else, they'll say yes again. We offer them something else, and they'll say yes again. And it gets to the point where we wish we had something else to sell because we know they would buy it too. The problem with the self-actualizing buyer is a lot like the apathetic, just in reverse. The problem with the self-actualizing buyer is that they have a tendency not to sell them everything. We do have a tendency not to sell them everything that they would have bought. We sell them a couple things, and then we'll decide that they won't really want to go further, because if we do, we may lose everything we've sold. But nothing could be further from the truth. The third type is called the analytical, or what we commonly refer to as the thinker. In our business, some have referred to them as the pipe smokers, the slide rulers, or most recent, the internet buyer. What is unique with the thinker or the analytical buyer is that they like to ask a lot of questions. They want to know all the specifications. They want to know if it covers the meticulator on the artificial valve, or whatever that is. Here's the mistake that we make as salespeople with this type of buyer. We think we need to show them that we know more about the product than they do. And that is the worst way you can go about it. The best way to disarm a thinker or an analytical buyer is just by being really impressed with their knowledge. Wow, you really know a lot about this. Then go back to selling. Because remember, people buy for their reasons, not our reasons. And what is our challenge? Or what is our goal when we're talking to a customer? Our goal is to get the sale now, isn't it? And getting this customer to say yes is what's really winning. The fourth type of buyer is a relationship-oriented buyer. This person buys because of the way the purchase will affect other people. For example, they would buy a service contract because they realize that some of the services associated with it, such as towing, rental, roadside assistance, is going to prevent their son that's away at college from being stranded on the road with no one to help. That's what the relationship-oriented buyer takes into consideration in making their purchase. How would this purchase affect someone else? The last type of buyer is the task-focused buyer. The thing that is unique about the task-focused buyer is they want you to get to the point. You can usually recognize a task-focused buyer very early in the presentation. You'll get about 2 sentences out of your mouth, and what do they say? How much is it? When that happens, you need to recognize that they are a task-focused buyer. You should get to the point, but you need to get there on your timetable. Just do it a little quicker. For example, if they say, how much is it? You say, that's the best part, and I'll get to that in just a moment. Then you go back to selling. Since you recognize you have a task-focused buyer, you should be specific and focused on the benefits they will realize for the price. Now, everyone falls into one of these categories. You're probably already figured out which one you are. I, for example, am a task-focused buyer. I don't think I've ever walked in to anywhere looking for a product and not bought what I was looking for. When I walk into a business establishment, whether it is a dealership or a retail outlet, I already know before I even walk in the door that I'm going to buy something. Show me what I want. Show me the price, and if it's reasonable, I'll take it. Remember, people buy for their reasons. So let's say we sell to people for our reasons. Let's say that you are a task-focused buyer, and you want to get quickly to the point with a relationship-oriented buyer. Is that something that's going to be effective with that person? No. What are they going to think about you? They're going to think you're rude, you're obnoxious, you're short, and you're probably not likely to get the sale, or they're not likely to buy anything from you.